All right, welcome back to Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks. I'm Vinny.
I'm Dylan. Today we're going to look at the effects of inflation on Social Security. Vinny's going to tell us about it.
Yeah, exactly. If you guys enjoy this kind of entertaining stock market content, please consider giving us a like and subscribe below. With that, we'll get to it.
Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks.
All right, guys. Remember this website from last time, Dylan? I showed you this, the U.S. national debt.
Yeah, it's unbelievably terrifying.
Yeah, $28 trillion just climbing away incessantly. So they actually have a subsection here that shows you the largest budget items, right? Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, defense, war, and then interest. Right, that's pretty scary when interest is like your fourth largest expense.
Oh my God!
Today we're going to talk about Social Security a little bit. This $1.1 trillion and growing there, right? So the reason why I wanted to do this topic is this article right here from CNBC this week, talking about how inflation could prompt the largest Social Security cost of living adjustment in decades. It was like 1982 or 3, I want to say, the last time there was a number this big. They're now calling for a 6.1% increase in Social Security payments as a result of the cost of living adjustment.
Ooh, where are we going to get that money?
Yeah, I mean, well, we're going to borrow it. That's just what we're going to do. That's not the question. In reality, honestly, from a federal government standpoint, a 6.1% increase, even in their second largest budget item, is still like a small rounding error. The question for us is kind of both like how much money is this going to translate to, and then what's the potential way we could exploit this as investors and maybe make a little bit extra money?
Ooh,
I know, right?
I'm all for exploitation for money.
So. Yeah, me too. Plus, the other thing too is now, Dylan, now you know next time you renegotiate your contract, you would need at least another 6% increase for next year.
I'm in a 2-year contract for mine, so huge.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in a 3-year ladder for mine, so like.
Are you in a 3-year?
Yeah, well, it's like a ladder of pay increases.
Got it.
Scheduled. Yeah.
I don't have a pay increase.
Yeah, it's all good. All right, so fun facts and figures right here. You're talking about 69 million people receive Social Security money. 69 million people. That's a lot of people, huh?
Yeah. Don't we have like 350 million in the U.S.?
Yeah, 330, somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah.
330. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little under 350. Most of them live in Arizona, I'm pretty sure. Just probably.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. So, this is the kind of estimated average monthly. This is a couple, $1,543 a month is what the average Social Security recipient receives.
Okay.
All right. We multiply that out in order to figure out what the increase is per month. You're talking about another $94 per month for senior citizens and their cost of living adjustment. Right? Now, when we're looking at the whole program itself, it was last year was $1.096 trillion. So how much money is that actually going to cost the federal government as a whole every year? How much more money is going to be available there? So this right here is the answer. You're talking about was that $66 billion in additional cost per year. I mean, in terms of federal government expense, not unreasonable, right?
I don't know. Seems like a lot.
Yeah. That right there is like 30, like what do you call it? F-35 fighter jets, So yeah, whatever, we lose that much.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. But see, now, like I said, thinking as an investor, it's kind of like, how can I exploit this additional income for senior citizens, and like what would they potentially save money on? So one of the thoughts that came to mind, at least for me personally, especially as part of a reopening trade, a little gambling.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right? Every time I've been to a casino, the entire population there is pretty much like 50 and older. If you don't have gray hair, I'm pretty sure they don't let you in.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where what is it called? QVC? Is that the network?
Yeah.
Isn't their biggest day of the month is like the day after Social Security checks are mailed out? That's their biggest sales in the month.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but it's interesting to say, at least, I guess, but like this is the little fact that caught my head right here is that 70% of those over 65 said they have gambled in the previous year.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and it's definitely pretty funny. So like, obviously, the players within the sector, it's like, the first one that comes to mind is, for me personally, is Wynn. I know there's Las Vegas Sands as well, in terms of the actual stocks that are within the sector, but And then healthcare is another one, but like healthcare, you're not going to see more discretional spending. When you look at where senior citizens spend their money in terms of discretional stuff, gambling is kind of the one that I seized upon. So I thought it would be interesting.
That is definitely not a straightforward. That's a pretty cool play. It's Win.
Yeah, Win.
WIN.
WYNN. I need to actually dig into which individual casinos potentially could benefit the most from this. I'm not sure. Honestly, I try to look up demographic data from Win specifically, and they had some, but like it wasn't like broken down to like the level that I actually wanted it to. So it is kind of more of a macro casino trend in general is what I thought you could use to exploit this potential increase in Social Security benefits. Once again, this would not be kicking in until next year anyways. We need to finish 2021 before
Right.
they would have the cost of living adjustments, and that would kick in for 2022. So this is like a 6 months out. Plus, you also get in the kind of reopening trade with a lot of the casino names out there already. But that was the thought process.
They're actually they're down 33% from their recent 40% from their recent high in like the last 2 months.
Yeah, you want to share that graph?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's kind of I think it's a good thought. I know you live much closer to Vegas than I do. I know you're not really the biggest fan of the place, but I've actually never been. So
I don't like it at all. I don't want to pay $20 for a rum and coke. That's not a great time for me. But I'm in the minority there. So yeah, they've fallen down quite a bit here. Yeah. Although this is a very similar graph for like a lot of stocks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the reopening trade kind of saw its peak, and now people are starting to realize that they actually need to bring the money in the door for that. So I think I'm probably going to do a little deeper dive into Win, specifically, and maybe a couple other casino stocks to see what sort of financial shape they're in terms of post-COVID, and then I think this could be a little bit of a tailwind for them from like a kind of more of a social arbitrage kind of angle.
Yeah, this is a very creative play. This is a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's still early in the stages. It's, just to be fleshed out more, but
it's too late. I already put $10,000 on it.
Perfect.
Anytime Vinny recommends something, he never makes moves. So if he makes a move, I'm in.
Yeah. Well, I didn't make a move on this one yet. I did not make a move on this one yet.
Well, I'm already in.
This and I'm looking at Corsair Gaming is the other one I want to do right now. So I have a couple of companies that I want to dig into their finances and see if I can figure out like what sort of price I'm a buyer at. And then Dylan and I are going to also do another video about 10 stocks I'd like to buy for like the next recession, basically, what I'll be shopping list and prices.
Yes. Ooh, of course, it looks good too.
Yeah, exactly. All right,
Ooh,
guys.
Boy.
Well, we just want to get this out there. Let us know what you think. Like we're still figuring this trade out a little bit, so curious to see what input you guys all have for this sort of thought process.
Yeah, it's definitely a creative social arbitrage play. Good job.
Yeah, thanks. All right, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.
Later.